Illinois Real Estate Exam Last-Minute Review. Question 1. A managing broker supervising Riley discovers repeated advertising and trust-account mistakes. Which responsibility is most directly involved? Option A. Supervision of sponsored licensees and brokerage compliance systems. Option B. Recording deeds for every buyer. Option C. Issuing building permits. Option D. Approving zoning variances. The correct answer is option A. Supervision of sponsored licensees and brokerage compliance systems. Managing and sponsoring brokers are responsible for supervision, training, and compliance controls for sponsored licensees. Recording deeds, issuing permits, and approving zoning variances are handled by other parties or government offices. Question 2. A closing file includes a warranty deed. Which distinction should an exam candidate focus on when comparing deed types? Option A. All deed types provide identical title warranties. Option B. The promises or warranties the grantor makes about title can differ by deed type. Option C. A deed is the same document as a mortgage note. Option D. A deed never needs a grantor or grantee. The correct answer is option B. The promises or warranties the grantor makes about title can differ by deed type. Different deeds can provide different levels of title assurance, depending on the grantor's warranties. A deed is not a mortgage note, and valid deed analysis involves parties such as grantor and grantee as well as delivery and acceptance. Question 3. A listing closes at $220,000 with a brokerage fee of 5.5%. What total commission is generated before any split? Option A. $6,050. Option B. $14,300. Option C. $12,100. Option D. $2,200. The correct answer is option C. $12,100. Commission is calculated by multiplying the sale price by the commission rate. $220,000 times 5.5% equals $12,100. The distractors divide the commission, use the wrong percentage, or calculate only 1% of the price.
Stressed about your AccuPlacer exam? We can take AccuPlacer exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 4. A brokerage wants to operate a virtual office location for Illinois consumers. Which compliance focus best fits the licensing outline during Hayden's Aurora vacant lot file review? Option A. Avoiding all broker supervision because the office is online. Option B. Replacing written brokerage agreements with website clicks only. Option C. Advertising as an unlicensed technology company. Option D. Registration, supervision, and public-facing brokerage compliance for virtual or branch operations. The correct answer is option D. Registration, supervision, and public-facing brokerage compliance for virtual or branch operations. Virtual or branch operations still require appropriate brokerage supervision and compliance with licensing rules. Being online does not remove supervision, written-agreement, licensing, or advertising requirements. Question 5. Two owners are comparing tenancy in common with other ownership forms. Which exam skill is being tested during Parker's Evanston rental duplex file review? Option A. Recognizing how ownership rights, survivorship, and transferability may differ by estate or tenancy. Option B. Assuming all co-owners must have identical inheritance results. Option C. Treating a tenancy as a mortgage loan. Option D. Using the ownership form to avoid all property taxes. The correct answer is option A. Recognizing how ownership rights, survivorship, and transferability may differ by estate or tenancy. Ownership forms can differ in survivorship rights, transferability, and the interests held by each party. They are not mortgage loans, do not guarantee identical inheritance outcomes, and do not eliminate property tax obligations. Question 6. A seller receives $332,000 at closing, pays off a $78,000 mortgage, and pays $7,850 in seller closing costs. What are the approximate net proceeds during Reese's Oak Park Lakefront Cottage file review? Option A, $254,000. Option B, $246,150. Option C, $324,150. Option D, $85,850. The correct answer is option B, $246,150. Seller net proceeds subtract the loan payoff and seller costs from the sale price, $332,000 minus $78,000 minus $7,850 equals $246,150. The other answers omit one deduction or add deductions instead of subtracting them from the sale price. Question 7. A licensee knowingly misrepresents a material fact to induce a buyer to sign. Which licensing consequence is most relevant during Alex's Decatur suburban ranch home file review? Option A, automatic zoning approval. Option B, mandatory title insurance payout. Option C, disciplinary action for unprofessional or dishonest conduct. Option D, a tax prioration credit only. The correct answer is option C, disciplinary action for unprofessional or dishonest conduct. Knowing misrepresentation can trigger discipline because it harms consumers and violates professional standards. Zoning approval, title insurance payout, and tax prioration are unrelated remedies for this licensing misconduct. Question 8. Several brokerages in Chicago agree to charge the same commission rate so no firm competes on price. Which violation is most likely being tested? Option A, valid comparative market analysis. Option B, prioration. Option C, easement by necessity. Option D, a price fixing. The correct answer is option D, price fixing. An agreement among competitors to set commission rates is a classic price minus fixing concern under antitrust principles. A CMA estimates value, prioration divides expenses, and an easement by necessity concerns property access rather than broker competition.
Are you looking for AccuPlacer exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access AccuPlacer exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get AccuPlacer exam answer key today.
Question 9. A small rental property has annual net operating income of $38,000 and an indicated capitalization rate of 9%. What value is suggested by the income approach during Quinn's normal farm parcel file review? Option A, $422,222. Option B, $342,000. Option C, $4,222. Option D, $211,111. The correct answer is option A, $422,222. The income approach using direct capitalization divides NOI by the capitalization rate. $38,000 divided by 9% equals about $422,222. The other answers multiply by the rate, treat the percent as a whole number, or cut the indicated value in half. Question 10. A candidate is planning the broker exam schedule and wants to understand the Illinois minus specific portion. How is the state portion commonly structured in the current SCI bulletin during Sydney's Carbondale single minus family home file review? Option A, 100 questions with 150 minutes allowed and a 70% passing score. Option B, 40 questions with 90 minutes allowed and a 75% passing score. Option C, 50 questions with 120 minutes allowed and a 74% passing score. Option D, 90 questions with 150 minutes allowed and a 75% passing score. The correct answer is option B, 40 questions with 90 minutes allowed and a 75% passing score. The Illinois broker exam has a separate state portion listed as 40 scored points, 90 minutes, and a 75% passing score. The 100 minus question 150 minus minute format describes the national broker portion. The 50 minus question 120 minus minute option reflects residential leasing, and the 90 minus question format applies to a different examination category. Question 11. An appraiser values a church with few comparable sales and limited rental data. Which approach may receive special attention? Option A, income approach only. Option B, gross rent multiplier only. Option C, cost approach. Option D, subdivision platting method. The correct answer is option C, cost approach. The cost approach is often useful for new or special purpose properties when sales and income evidence are limited. The income approach and gross rent multiplier depend heavily on rental income, while subdivision platting is not a primary appraisal approach. Question 12. A property is worth $340,000 and has a loan balance of $105,000. Approximately how much equity does the owner have during Kendall's Moline condominium unit file review? Option A, $445,000. Option B, $105,000. Option C, $272,000. Option D, $235,000. The correct answer is option D, $235,000. Equity is the property's value minus debt secured by the property, so $340,000 minus $105,000 equals $235,000. The distractors add debt, report the loan balance, or use an unsupported percentage of value. Question 13. Reese passed the Illinois broker examination but delayed the license application for more than a year. What is the likely exam-related consequence? Option A. The passing examination result may no longer be usable for licensure. Option B. The score remains valid permanently. Option C. The candidate becomes licensed automatically. Option D. Only a name-change form is required. The correct answer is option A. The passing examination result may no longer be usable for licensure. The SI Bulletin states that candidates must apply for licensure within 1 year after passing the appropriate examination. A permanent score, automatic licensure, or a simple name-change form would not satisfy the application requirement after the score validity window has passed. Question 14. A property manager receives a residential tenant's security deposit from Hayden. How should the funds be treated for licensing-exam purposes? Option A, spend it immediately as management profit. Option B, handle the deposit as money belonging to another party and account for it properly. Option C, treat it as the broker's personal emergency fund. Option D, refuse to keep any written record of the deposit. The correct answer is option B, handle the deposit as money belonging to another party and account for it properly. Security deposits are funds connected to the landlord-tenant relationship and must be handled with proper accounting and legal care. Treating them as immediate profit, personal funds, or undocumented cash would create serious compliance issues. Question 15. A buyer purchases for $290,000, makes a 20% down payment, and has $3,700 in closing costs. About how much cash is needed at closing before credits? Option A, $58,000. Option B, $3,700. Option C, $61,700. Option D, $286,300. The correct answer is option C, $61,700. Cash needed combines the down payment and closing costs. 20% of $290,000 plus $3,700 equals $61,700. The other choices omit either the costs or the down payment, or subtract costs from the price incorrectly. Question 16. An owner personally advertises and negotiates the sale of the owner's own small apartment building. Why is this usually treated differently from brokerage for others during Jordan's Chicago vacant lot file review? Option A. Every owner must hold a broker license before signing a deed. Option B. The owner is automatically sponsored by the buyer's broker. Option C. The owner may collect commissions from other sellers without a license. Option D. Owners may generally sell or lease their own property without acting as licensed brokers for the public. The correct answer is option D. Owners may generally sell or lease their own property without acting as licensed brokers for the public. Real estate license laws typically regulate brokerage services performed for others, especially for compensation. An owner selling the owner's own property is not thereby representing the public as a broker, while licensing would be required to collect commissions or broker transactions for other owners. Question 17. The same brokerage may work with both Jordan and Casey in one transaction. Why must dual or designated agency issues be handled carefully? Option A. They can affect consent, confidentiality, and the duties owed to each party. Option B. They automatically cancel every contract. Option C. They eliminate all broker duties. Option D. They require the buyer and seller to use the same attorney. The correct answer is option A. They can affect consent, confidentiality, and the duties owed to each party. Representing or assisting both sides can create consent and confidentiality issues that must be handled according to law and brokerage policy. It does not automatically cancel contracts, eliminate duties, or force the parties to share legal counsel. Question 18. Sydney posts a social media ad for a listing near Evanston using only a personal phone number and no brokerage identification. Which issue is most likely raised by Illinois advertising rules? Option A. A licensee may advertise without any broker identification online. Option B. Real estate advertising must identify the sponsoring brokerage in a compliant and not misleading way. Option C. Only print advertising must identify a broker. Option D. Brokerage identification is unnecessary if the property address appears. The correct answer is option B. Real estate advertising must identify the sponsoring brokerage in a compliant and not misleading way. Illinois advertising expectations focus on protecting the public from misleading ads and making the sponsoring brokerage clear. Online ads are still advertising, and the property address or a personal phone number does not replace proper broker identification. Stressed about your Illinois real estate exam? We can take Illinois real estate exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A driveway crosses one parcel so a neighboring parcel can reach the road. Which property concept is most likely involved during Taylor's Naperville Suburban Ranch Home File Review? Option A. Fixture. Option B. Novation. Option C. Easement. Option D. Defeasance clause. The correct answer is option C. Easement. An easement gives a right to use another's land for a specific purpose, such as access. A fixture is attached property. Novation substitutes a contract party or obligation, and a defeasance clause relates to mortgage satisfaction. Question 20. A listing broker learns of an active termite condition before a buyer submits an offer. How should the issue generally be treated in an Illinois exam scenario during Riley's Rockford Commercial Suite File Review? Option A. It may be hidden if the seller requests silence. Option B. It is never relevant once the property is listed as minus is. Option C. It must be disclosed only after the buyer obtains a loan. Option D. A known material fact should be disclosed rather than concealed. The correct answer is option D. A known material fact should be disclosed rather than concealed. Known material facts can affect a buyer's decision and should not be concealed. A seller's request, and as minus is label, or the timing of financing does not eliminate the broker's duty to avoid misrepresentation and disclose material information. Question 21. A homeowner challenges the assessed value used for property taxes. Which concept is being examined during Avery's Bloomington Farm Parcel File Review? Option A. Assessment and property tax valuation process. Option B. Agency termination by death. Option C. A leasehold surrender. Option D. Escrow disbursement only. The correct answer is option A. Assessment and property tax valuation process. Property tax questions often focus on assessed value, tax rates, exemptions, and appeal procedures. Agency termination, lease surrender, and escrow disbursement are separate real estate topics. Question 22. A residential seller in Illinois knows about past foundation movement but leaves the disclosure report blank. What concept is most directly tested? Option A. The buyer's duty to ignore all seller statements. Option B. The seller's disclosure obligations for known material defects. Option C. The lender's exclusive duty to inspect the property. Option D. The appraiser's authority to waive statutory disclosures. The correct answer is option B. The seller's disclosure obligations for known material defects. Illinois residential disclosure rules focus on the seller's disclosure of known material defects. Buyers still may inspect, but that does not make seller disclosure meaningless. Lenders and appraisers do not waive statutory disclosure duties. Question 23. A brokerage wants to operate a virtual office location for Illinois consumers. Which compliance focus best fits the licensing outlined during Drew's Joliet 2-flat building file review? Option A. Avoiding all broker supervision because the office is online. Option B. Replacing written brokerage agreements with website clicks only. Option C. Registration, supervision, and public-facing brokerage compliance for virtual or branch operations. Option D. Advertising as an unlicensed technology company. The correct answer is option C. Registration, supervision, and public-facing brokerage compliance for virtual or branch operations. Virtual or branch operations still require appropriate brokerage supervision and compliance with licensing rules. Being online does not remove supervision, written-agreement, licensing, or advertising requirements. Question 24. Avery receives $2,500 in earnest money and places it in a personal checking account for convenience. Which trust-account problem is illustrated? Option A. A lawful automatic conversion of escrow funds into commission. Option B. A required method for handling every earnest money deposit. Option C. A title defect that is cured by recording a deed. Option D. Commingling client funds with personal funds. The correct answer is option D. Commingling client funds with personal funds. Client or customer funds such as earnest money must be handled through the appropriate special or trust account process. Putting the money into a personal checking account is commingling. It is not automatic commission, not the required method, and not a title-recording issue. Question 25. A buyer transfers contractual rights to another purchaser before closing, subject to the contract terms. Which concept is most likely being tested during Parker's Evanston Townhome file review? Option A. Assignment. Option B. Accession. Option C. This cheat. Option D. Hypothecation. The correct answer is option A. Assignment. Assignment involves transferring contract rights to another party when permitted. Accession concerns additions to property. Escheat transfers property to the state when no heirs exist, and hypothecation involves pledging property as security without giving up possession.